Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Testing. Testing 1 2 3. Testing. Holy crap, internet! How you doing? Hey, it's me, Aaron, the Custodo. I'm back to streaming my lunch streams again. Where have I been so long? What the heck, dude? I know, right? Well, hey, I'm here. You're probably not, but maybe you're watching video on demand. Either way, if you're watching this, welcome to the lunch.net stream. My name's Aaron LeBeau. I'm going to be playing around with a little bit of some stuff here today. Drink a little refreshing drink from not sponsored Sprite Zero. They are it's very delicious and refreshing. I'm not a fan of the sugar. Try to stay away from the sugar and also from the caffeines. I haven't drank the caffeine since so many years. So yeah, status update. What happened to me, man? I fell off the planet for about a month and a half. I had a death in the family and had to deal with some personal family issues that related with that. So things are getting better here. I mean, they're never going to be the same, right? When you lose somebody that you really care about, but the show must go on, and you know, so we're coming back, and I'm getting my schedule back to. I don't know if it'll ever be back to normal. Life, I think, always changes after these kind of events, but at least back to the point where I can do some fun things. So I want to play around with a bunch of stuff today. So what am I going to play around with? Well, ooh boy, that didn't go well for me. What we got going here? Wait, what? Oh no. Do I do this live on stream? Oh boy, do I? Yeah, let's update and restart. Let's see what's going on here. Don't care. Update real quick. Let's see if this can get done real quick while I explain what's going on here. Let me get a browser out so I can kind of explain some things have changed in the world since we've last talked. There's our friends over at Uno. Uno platform is pretty cool. If you're a .NET developer, they give you some alternatives. You use a Maui or Avalonian to build apps. Their big thing that they did was this new thing called C# markup. And holy crap, this looks exciting. Let me see if I can get their webpage to open. Come on, click on this. See, oh, okay, here we go. So this is literally, it looks a ton like Jetpack Compose, like Swift UI, but mostly like Dart and Flutter. And so what you're able to do is take C# from my understanding and use it without using XAML. It's called the XML markup language. XAML is how most Maui apps are built, unless you're using Blazor. And that's how .NET, you'd build your mobile apps or websites, whatever you want to build, right? But I look at this screenshot, it makes me happy because I love C#, but I'm not a huge fan of XAML. I mean, I've written XAML for years. I know how to write it, but it's a very wordy protocol. There's a lot of times IntelliSense seems to always seem halfway broken for it, but there's no ability. Here's my rant about why the XAMLs is not great. You can't put a breakpoint in XAML. There's no ability to put a breakpoint in XAML. So when you're trying to see on the stack what happened, so like what a value is, no ability to do that. That's not physically possible, which means now you're logging crap to a file because XAML, what is XAML? XAML is a serialization thing. What's going to happen is take that UI, it's going to read all that XML, it's going to serialize it up and put it in memory. However, it's been coded in that XML file. So this is a serialization thing that's going to happen. Well, on top of that, you're paying for that. You're paying for the serialization to come in, read in, put values into memory, and then do something with it. And there's, I mean, obviously the performance on a modern phone, or even when it compiles down, it's going to compile that stuff down. Usually, like in Xamarin Forms, you could compile your pages down, and that would eliminate that cost. But still, it's something to be said. I like breakpoints. I like the ability to put breakpoints in. So what I would like to do is be able to see that, does this work? Is this cool? You know, hey, look at this. So my rider is ready to restart. Let's restart our rider here and see if we can get. So today on the lunch stream, what I want to do is just look at this. I want to look at this and see if this is cool. Now, you know, I'll also go on. I rant a lot here. So folks, if you're on my stream, be prepared. I'm a ranter. I like to rant. What I don't, I'm a developer advocate. Okay, y'all should know that. If you don't, I am. I believe that examples should really, when you have examples of like your new tech and stuff, really don't mix and match multiple crap together, right? So this new C# markup comes up with, and now you can do the new C# markup with Figma, which is in a sample or in a cool world. If you have like this big Figma that somebody created, that it will generate some C# code for you. That's always hit and miss whether or not that code's actually crap or if it's good. But they, according to their webpage here, let me bring this back, is that they talk about that. Well, they've got two example apps that you can go look at. One is like this YouTube one, and this other one is this Simple Calc, right? And my problem with this is that they go right to, from the basics of markup, which really isn't all that much of a basic if you ask me. They get you through setup with Uno check, which doesn't work, by the way, for me on Mac M1. It thinks I still have x86, and it basically complains I need an x86 emulator in the build tools when I'm on an M1. So that's a problem. I did contact them on Twitter. I did look at the code also. I can't get the code. I actually downloaded the code for Uno check. I was like, hey, you know what? If that thing's broke, maybe I can go fix it, right? And so this is the lines of code that's actually busted in here. They have a Amazon, go away. No, I don't want to know what's new in JetBrains Rider. I was right in the middle of something. How rude. You'll see here that they say that this is an issue in GitHub, but this was closed a long time ago, this issue. They're saying here, this will be false if the process runs in Rosetta. Nobody, it's like 3 years later, man, or 4 years later. No one's running Rosetta anymore, man. That was a long time ago, guys. And this has been closed for quite a while. So in their code, they're kind of calling out that this is an issue. I don't think that's the case anymore. The weird part is that the code doesn't look bad, right? If I look at this, this utility, so this is a utility, we can say go to and go to the decoration of this. And this utility, if you go look at it for the platform, is ARM right here, is looking at the runtime information OS architecture. Okay, and so we could go look at this API on the docs. We can just say, hey, I'm going to grab this right here. You'll see this is the person that put that code in, right? But if we go back over here to our Googles and GitHub, or let's just go to .NET. This just take us right to the docs. So I looked at this earlier. And this seems like it's right. If we look at it, this is saying that it's going to give you the OS architecture. And according to here, it says it returns the value intended to represent the actual architecture of the operating system. Now it says return values take into account emulation built into Windows and Mac operating systems. The return value does not take into account emulation using QEM. Well, I'm not using that with Linux. So, and this has supposedly been supported for quite a while. It's got all the .NETness in it, you know, everything up to 8. Regular .NET Framework standard supported, Xamarin, iOS, and Mac. It doesn't list Android here. That's a weird thing, right? That doesn't list Android here, but it lists .NET 8 and 7, which I'm using. I would think that would work. For them, you'd think it would work too, right? I'm not sure if that's a omission in the docs or if that's maybe part of the bug. I'm not sure. But either way, that looks good. So this emulator check, I have a feeling, is this return utils is ARM. You can see here this original ordinates that they're trying to do to kind of try to figure out if this is ARM versus x86 that they're recommending that you get, and how to calculate this. And so I believe that their code bug is in here somewhere. But I can't debug it. Every time I try to debug it, it doesn't work. So I think their build stuff is built for running on Windows, They have a lot of MS Build SDK resolvers and stuff in here. And no matter what happens, I can't get it to build. And I just don't have a bunch of free time to like try to calculate why this is not working. I did complain on Twitter, and I should probably put a bug in after that says, hey, you know, on my machine, this does not work. I'm on an M2, and that's not cool, right? So, but it doesn't stop you from using the platform, right? It just means that it's reporting things wrong, right? We'll go check. Now, I went through to make it all green. I had to install the x86 emulator and then deleted it because you can see here, look at this. It's saying system image x86 64, but if we look at my Mac is not that. My Mac is a Mac Studio M2 Ultra, fully loaded with 64 gig of RAM because I do a lot of cool things. Also, Xcode required. I'm on a new version of Mac OS, man. I don't know what to say. That's been out for over a month. Xcode 14.3, not around anymore, man. It's Xcode 15 everywhere, folks. Got to get used to the Apple update cycle if you're going to be on that platform supporting it. Here's the whole thing, right? Apple updates the OS and Xcode every year like clockwork. If you're going to be a tools vendor and you're going to be supporting the Apple stuff, the beta's been around since June, okay? The Xcode beta. That's like, it's November now. So June, July, August, September, October, November. That's 7 months. I'm a developer. I've got roadmaps that I have to build, right? I work on teams right now at Couchbase. We have a 7th month. We know how to put things in 7 months to get into our roadmap when customers need certain things. They guarantee they ship within 6 months. No tools, and I'm picking on Dart today and Flutter because my understanding is they have a bunch of problems with Xcode 15, and it's like, you guys have known this, Google, for like 6 months. It's not like Apple just like went through and said, oh, here's this big surprise, Xcode 15's available. Oh, no, you guys had months to play around with the betas, man. So I don't say. You can't be mad at Apple for putting new product out when they give plenty of time in betas. This is more of understanding like how to build software, building your roadmap up, ramping up, and making sure that you can support this, especially if you're a tools thing, man. There's people that need to ship product on the latest stuff, and I don't say that, you know. Saying that it's going to take you a year to support something that it's like, ooh, boy, that's rough. That's rough. But the other thing is, I get it, man. It's hard. It's not easy. I mean, here at Couchbase, we have problems with this all the time. So I totally understand where people are coming from, but it's just, it's well known and well documented. So if a developer like me gets upset because of the fact that you're not doing it, you can't be shocked by it. You just can't, right? So let's see here. I'd like to build a new Uno project. And my understanding is that if we go here, I've got the templates installed. So the weird thing is I tried this and it didn't work the way I wanted it to work. So you can see here, well, what am I doing here? I've got this sample app I want to build, and I have this idea where I want to build the same application in a bunch of different .NET technologies and then kind of compare and contrast them. That's what we were talking about in our last call, or our last little stream that we did. And so you'll see here, I've got, you know, Avalonian over here. I've got the .NET here. So this would be core .NET. This is not Maui. And of course, we got our Maui sample here. And then we have a shared project that we can go through and have all of our shared code that's going to talk to the database and all that kind of stuff. That way, what we're really comparing and contrasting is the UIs. The data layer will be the same no matter what. And then the final thing is I wanted to add this Uno thing in. Because I want to play around with this markup stuff that looks pretty cool. I am kind of excited about that. So, but here's the weird thing. So, you know, if you go back to the get started thing, because hey, this is brand new, man. This is like bleeding edge stuff, and they say install the templates. So I did my Uno check. I did that. That's cool. And they say get the platform extensions. I've got those, and then they say, okay, that's great, but like, how do I make a new project? So they're saying app platform here, right? All right, app platform. I'm in JetBrains Rider. Their screenshot is Visual Studio, but I think we can transpose the same thing, right? They say select this, and then they say for a startup type, select blank. I don't think Rider supports that like that. I think here you just get the full thing. Um, so this will give you a test library. This just gives you the app. So one of the fears I have is I'm not sure that I think this is going to give me the YAML stuff. Excuse me, the XAML stuff. I mean, we could try it, I guess. Let's see what happens here. I want a blank project. I guess if I knew the template for blank, I could run it from the command line. That's another way you could do it. But let's try. I don't think that the documentation is very clear on that, which is kind of bummer. And they make the assumption that you're on Windows, but I mean, I'm a Mac, man. So, you know, you should probably provide like some support for the writer folks here. That we're out there trying to use your platform, man. Let's see here. So let's do CBL travel sample. Uno, and see what happens. And it says then there is going to be project files, and this is their WinUI. It's going to be multi-platform. That's cool. I do like that. Click create, but I don't think it's going to be blank. The blank one that they talk about, and that's going to be my fear, right? Wow. Okay, this is a lot of code, folks. A lot of code. I see XAML already. This doesn't work. This is Francis is in chat. First time chatter. Welcome to the chat, Francis. Yeah. So this is not what I want at all, because now my problem is this is XAML. And this is the thing I didn't want to do. You know, I already have XAML all over the place, right? I've got Avalonian in here. We've got the Maui's. You know, that's XAML. What really is piquing my interest here in this this world is the C# markup. So that's not going to work. Ah, turd. Oh, let's see here. All right. Well, that didn't work. So that's a bummer. I want to delete the projects and folders from the file system. Bummer. Let's see here. Now we got to look this up. Let's see here. Are we in the right folder here? I think we need to be in the... Wait. Why do I have like Uno platform in here as a folder? That doesn't show up in Visual Studio, does it? Or in, we've got some extra baggage in the trunk here. This Uno platform directory. Remove -rm CBL travel sample. Let's try not to delete everything here, and then .uno platform. I'm not sure why that's around. That should be gone. Now if I go to CBL travel sample Uno. Oh shit, there's code in here still. Bummer. Don't want that either. Remove that CBL travel sample Uno. Okay. I think we're clean. I think we're back to normal here. All right. Well, let's see here. We've got a link here. I already got the templates installed. I know that's how. Oh, here we go. Look at this. This is cool. All right. So here's a new template that can be used for iOS, Windows, web. Well, I don't want WebAssembly, but the rest of those sounds cool. 132 desktop. 132 desktop. 64-bit guy here, but okay. Let's see here. To create a recommended template, use it here. Preset recommended. Ooh, I wonder what the difference between recommended and blank is. Oh, wait a minute. This YouTube thing said earlier to use the blank one. We should probably use the blank one. Oh, wait. We have even more chat. Wow, chat's exploding here today. Oh, here we go. Oh, let's read this. Let's see what the heck this is saying. So, new Uno app. We want blank. We want read the manual. The read the FM manuals. I don't know what TFM stands for. Oh, the .NET framework version, because it says .NET 8 markup. This is what we want. That markup. That's cool. C# presentation MV, toolkit true, materials, time service, theme service. Okay, so this is all cool minus the simple calculator, right? I mean, the fact they have a theme service, that sounds also pretty cool. Getting dark and light mode working kind of stinks. Oop, yikes. Let me get back here. New version of macOS. All these mice keyboard shortcuts and stuff are weird. But let's see. Ooh. Well, that did not work the way I wanted it to work. Let's see here. Let me copy paste that into there's some kind of special character crap going on here from the website. Yeah, there is. Let me go back there and copy and paste that from my browser into a text editor that I can then manipulate the command. Oh, I can't show this window because it's got some other stuff for work on it. Let me dash output. All right, so let's see here. I think I got this figured out. Let's go here and play around with this. Let's see here. Boom, 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 boom. And here, and then the output's what we want. CBL travel sample dot uno. We'll just not put a slash there. We'll see if it. By theory, I think what it's going to do is just dump all that then into there, and then once it makes that, the only issue will be whether that makes another solution file. But if it makes project files, we can just import those into our existing solution file. So let's see what it's doing here. Well, it's working. I like when things work. It's restoring some stuff. It's doing some stuff. I mean, these are all good things that have happened. Characters are being generated on the screen in the terminal. That's always good, right? Let's see here. It says access to path. There are some things there that worried me a little bit here. Like we're getting some failed to restore template cache. Access to path is denied, but I mean, that's just my folder, my user folder. That shouldn't be there. Warning: failed to read or parse .NET templates. Blah 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 blah. I'm not sure if those warnings are going to kill me or not, but let's see what happens here. We got an Uno folder. Very, very cool. Okay. I like this. Let's go into the CBL travel sample Uno folder, see what happened here. What did we get? So we got a bunch of different projects, a solution file, but we already got our own solution. So we could probably, well, the only thing is I see this build properties and stuff. Let's see here. Let's go back to Writer and see what happens when we try to add these existing projects. Let's add existing projects and see what happens here. So we'll get the little editor navigator here. Let's go to Uno. And let's go and start with the Uno and grab that and see if we can. I think we have to in Writer go directly to the CS project file, which is kind of weird, but all right, we got one project. Ooh, ha ha ha. Let's come for Sesame Street. Let's go to add existing project and add the base project next, and see if we can get this into our base. Let's see here, get the base. Okay, I have a feeling that it has dependencies it's not happy about, and that's the reason why we're getting the red squiggly lines. Existing projects. Let's go back in here. We may have to be doing some merging of projects, which isn't the first or last time. All right, let's see there. That kind of came in. Let's go in and add existing projects. Get this. Oh no, not Uno. And let's see here. We got mobile. It looks like we need Skia for GTK. I'm going to assume that's Linux. GTK was the GNOME toolkit. Our friend Miguel, who started Xamarin, original dude that started GNOME. That guy's really smart. He's a very cool guy. Very opinionated, but you know, I really don't need WASM. I like Windows. I'm gonna keep WASM out of the list right now. See if I can get this all working without that. That's going to add a bunch of headaches that I know, well, I'm not wanting to deal with right now. Let's see here. I've got the Windows. I've got all these build properties and stuff I'm a little concerned about, but Let's see if we can. Well, Windows ain't gonna work anyways, no matter what, because I'm not on the Windows box. So let's see what if we try to build, what the thing's going to complain about. See if it just builds. Building is like the first sense of like success here. It's failed. Bummer. Why is it mad? So this is a Uno themes. Let's see what the NuGet packages are supposed to be for this thing. Where's our package manager? Is it just simply we don't have the packages installed? NuGet. Let's see what's going on here. All the Unos. There's a lot of Unos listed here. All right, let's do a couple things here, right? Let's make sure that this isn't my fault, right? Let's see whether or not. Let's open a new window. So let's open another solution, but let's open the solution it generated versus the one I'm trying to just bring in these projects manually and see if there's a difference in this altogether here. So let's see here. This is travel sample Uno, and it made its own solution file, right? So let's open it up from its solutions file. Trust and open. New window, please. There we go. We got a new window here. Let's go. Oh, so it's got solution folders, and then it's got platforms, and then it's got this sample thing. I bet you everything works here. If I try to build from here, or not. Let's just try to build this thing. Why does it need a code sign key? I'm just gonna say ARM64. It should be able to build a Catalyst app. Oh, that's Android. I see what's going on here. This is Android it's asking for. iOS. You should link frameworks only. Android output. But doesn't this build a Catalyst? Let me see here. All I see is iOS. I don't see Catalyst at all. And so that would be going to an iOS emulator. There's no Mac support in this? No, I guess not. I see mobile. I see base, WASM, and Windows. Oh, no. I still see the same thing where it's saying it can't find Uno themes here. Can't resolve this. So let's see if this builds. Try building again. Build solution. No, I'm getting the same problem here. So this is not working. So I went from the blank thing and I'm getting the namespace problem for the color palette override. Man, this is a big bummer. And this is open right from like the new blank, right? So if we look here, something going on with their template, like it's missing a package. Like where's Uno themes come from? Let's see. Let's do a quick see if we can get the Googles. Where did my browser go? See if I can find out if there's just like a new NuGet package for this thing. Uno themes. Oh boy. .NET. Why is this happening? Themes overview. Okay, that's cool. Material, Fluent. Themes is a repository. Okay, here we go. Okay, what is this? So this is so it's Uno themes. There's got to be a NuGet package for this. That's got to be what the issue is. So I mean, that's maybe the template's missing it by accident. Let's go through and well, we know that's happening here, so I'm going to close it from here and just go back over here and take a look at this. So let's go into our packages, manage NuGet packages here, and see if I see themes. Let's do Uno .themes. I know this is release 5. And this says that the package is 4. A base set of C# for markup helpers between all the compatible themes from Uno themes. Chat, I'm not really sure if this is what we want either. Um, it definitely says it needs themes, but the problem is, let's edit this chproj file. See if we can find the version references that it's looking for. See, I don't see themes in here at all. See this extension markup generator? Oh, right here it is. No, it says right here. Uno themes UI markup. Yeah, that's that one. It says included. Okay. But it's still complaining that it can't resolve the symbols for themes. And then it's saying there's no info plist. So that tells me that the iOS project has got problems. That looks right. Let me close this and open up their solution file. See if I see the same error with the iOS stuff. Yeah, see, it still only shows... Oh, there's 11 configurations here, though. Oh, here we go. This is what we really want. Is there a... So this is Android, iOS. Here we are. So this should be Mac. No. That's a big ass bummer. So this is the this would be for Catalyst support. This is the window like this would be Catalyst. And if I try running it again, it just keeps telling me that this namespace for themes does not exist. All right, let's do this real quick. Let's see if this is a real bug or not. Let's get out of this directory and do this command again that we did before. And we'll just make it, we got to POC this. We got to figure out, is it something that I'm doing wrong? Although I didn't really do all that much, right? I just ran this command. Let's get this command again. No, we're getting from chat. This is there's a NuGet package we need to NuGet package maybe that we're missing here. It's weird because I see it defined and maybe it's just a different version. Should we try that real quick? Yeah, I guess let's try that real quick. And then if that doesn't work, then we're gonna try this again. And if that doesn't work, I think we'll probably move on. Try to get something else done during the lunch stream here. Let me see real quick here. Does this show? Okay, so this does also show all the configurations. Never mind. That's just me being stupid. So let's go here and see if we can't fix this one right here. So let's go back to manage NuGet packages here. Pop in. It's Windows themes. When UI markup, this one right here. So it says we have to update this to dev 19. So let's add that. Yeah, we want to remove 6 and we want to add 19. Yeah. Okay. Let's add 19. Yeah. Syncing projects. Okay. It says we have 19. It's syncing project, so let's give it a second. Really? So hey, it's Scarlet Code. Welcome to the chat. Also had a similar problem yesterday. Tried NuGet .NET Restore from the terminal and closed and reopening Rider. Rider maybe have some issues with the with package management. That is a bummer if that's what's happening. Ryder, don't be a jerk, I guess. Let's go to travel sample, and we were in the Unos. So CBL travel sample. Uno. Where is our? We'll go into our Uno project to start out with. And let's see here. There's a sketch project here. That was that quick. Okay. Let's go back into the writers and try this. Closing this and opening this and see what happens. See if closing and opening it, it's like the rebooting the computer, right? Let's see if that fixes this. Well, hey, I don't see a red squiggly line anymore. That's usually a good sign here. So that's weird. Let's just build this thing. Build selected project. See if it builds. I'm still getting a namespace problem. Well, let's just do this. It's also failing from the command line. That's a bummer. Let me go back to this and grab this. Command. Do I have it over here? I do have it over here. Let's just take my chaos out of this, right? Because I've got this whole travel sample thing, let's just do a hello world here. So in developer here, I'm going to run this command again, but this time I'm just going to call it Uno hello world. Here we go. We're going to use their solution file, the whole 9 yards, and see if this thing works out of the box. And let's see here. Let's go back to Uno hello world and see if that's going to work now. So let's see here. Let's do a see if I can do a .NET restore from the solution file. I didn't think so. It doesn't have a project file. So let's just start with Uno .hello world. See if that works. .NET build. That worked. Let's open this thing out in Writer, see what the hell's going on here. Open. Uno hello world. And I didn't have to add a package this time, so that's a good sign. Loading. Just an open. All right, let's look at this again. It's syncing projects. It's thinking, syncing. It says it has missing dependencies. I know Windows is going to fail. Just know that out of the box because it's I'm on a Mac. Build selected project. Nope. Yeah. This template, there's something definitely wrong with this template. Because this is a brand new Hello World. I didn't do anything, right? Yeah. Yeah, this is the bummers of .NET, man. It's like, and in Dart, this is not, in Flutter, this is just not an issue. You never worry about this kind of stuff when I build in Dart and stuff. But now I've got this problem where like, it's the CS Proj or the solution file's not set up to know that I'm on a Mac. So it's like, hey, I've got Windows here. You should be doing Windows, and that's not working. So normally, I can build another solution file with Windows out and that usually, like in the old days in VS for Mac, I would do that. I'd build two solution files, one for running on PC and one for running on Mac, and that would usually solve this problem. Let me just remove Windows from here and see if it's going to be pissed, and see if that's causing it to, one of the things causing it. Reload project, let's see if it's but they have all this stuff set up to build in this build packages and stuff here, all this stuff over here, the solution items. So my real problem is that I don't think this is a simple solution to get it working here. Let's see here. Let's follow some instructions. This file can be used to control the platform's file. The copy is a remove sample from its name. Well, I'm not using Visual Studio, so I don't know if that's going to work. Uncomment the lines below. Make sure you rebuild so that the new gets uncomment each line before you want to build. So it says remove sample from this. Okay, so we can read, right? We're pretty good about this. Yes, I have the latest version of the Uno templates. I installed those this morning. So it's definitely generated. I wouldn't see markup, right? But if it wasn't for that. So that I know is working. So according to the directions here, it says solutions config props sample. And so it says, hey, I guess we can uncomment some of these lines and see what happens here and change this over and see if this works. I don't. My whole fear is that this is new Visual Studio trickery, and then Rider is like a different world here. And, you know, say if there's code, so sometimes this stuff that tends to go sour quickly when it says Visual Studio. And then it says to rename this, so let's rename this. Rename, take sample. Oop. Really? Is it gonna be that kind of lunch stream here? It's looking like it. All right. Where are we going here? This has got all the package versions. Okay, let's take a look at this real quick here. These used to all be in the CS Proj file, but it looks like now they're doing packages in this directory packages format. This is probably new to .NET 6 and higher. The weird thing is I don't see the theme thing here. There's markup. Okay, that's cool. But nowhere do I see the word theme. Oh, no, there it is. Okay. Ooh, but it's 406, and I think I remember somebody saying in chat it had to be like the dev version, 410 dev 19. All right, so Scarlet Code says that got it working yesterday, but in Rider, but had to edit the Windows CS Proj file to with enable window target and had to make sure workloads were all installed. Well, I have the workloads installed. I know that because I have Maui and Avalonian and the rest of those all working. So I know .NET is there. Uno check passes without problems. So that would, I mean, that's the whole point of Uno check, right? Is to make sure that we're cool in the world. I mean, I would expect a tool like this to basically tell me, hey, you've got stuff that's bad, right? And the Xcode, let's not talk about right now, but this also says that everything seems like it's there. The workloads are there. Press enter to finish. That seems like it's cool. This looks okay. I think I'm a little bit concerned about that version of the themes, because that seemed like somebody said in chat that could possibly be a problem. But I'm still seeing missing dependency here. base does not exist in your project. It seems like when the wizard ran, there's like these underscores and the name here, that seems weird. Now all these are complaining about this source platforms Uno Hello World base does not exist in this project. And this is still the YAML shit. Even though I took that example from chat, I really wanted to play with markup today. That's looking like it's not happening, man. What time is it? I have to be wary of my time here. I told it markup here. I literally took this command here that says markup, but yet I run this and I'm getting YAML code in here. Like this is still YAML code. Or XAML code, excuse me, not YAML code. Let's see here. All these projects are complaining about the source target platforms. Hello Uno Hello World base does not exist in the project. This is not even getting a theming at this point in time. This is more of a target here, and it's saying the lines come from here from override frameworks. It's not equal to override frameworks. Okay, so here's a project reference. Import IAM base. This is the base project. So it says it imports a project called Hello World, which is this project here. Let's build this project. See if we can get something to build. Okay, that builds. So this base Hello World project works. Oh, I think I'm getting this now. Okay, I think I'm getting what's going on with this. I think I get how the world's working here. So it looks like this world base is still a XAML project. So this isn't what I need to worry about. This looks like this is, so this must be, is this Windows then? Is this WinUI? I guess the name is confusing because it says base, but base what? I mean, is that a baseline that it has that it's saying here? Because mobile makes sense. This is Linux. This is web. Is base Windows? Well, this would never work if this is Windows. If this is the Windows one, this would totally make sense because I'm not on a Windows computer. I think they need to do some documentation for like Mac users or users not using Windows. Some people are saying Visual Studio Code. I freaking hate Visual Studio Code more than anything on the planet. I am a pretty big hater of it, but I find it the absolutely most horrendous resource hog in the world. You need 1,000 plugins to make this damn thing work. I mean, the whole point of Rider is that, I mean, for the most part, it just works. Works pretty great on everything else. Let's see here. I've got work stuff open over there that I can't show you guys legally. Let me see here. And I think that I have to get all the .NET extensions installed in this if it's if I'm gonna try to use Visual Studio and Xcode, and you have to have a license for it. You can't just use like a free version and stuff. You're supposed to have a Visual Studio license for this thing. And then of course the C# extension says it fails restore stuff. Yeah, this Visual Studio Code stuff's been a turd for me in .NET, to say the least. It has not been productive at all. But here's the thing, that's working. Like the Hello World is working over here for, and this is the markup stuff right here. So I think, So one, I think I had a misunderstanding. I think this project probably is always going to fail. Now this says it misses dependencies, and that's a little weird for me because that should just work. But if I were to scroll down, it's using the mobile project. So Catalyst is using the mobile project. It looks like, and so I doubt this is going to build. So why does it matter? Let's see what it's saying here. Oh, well, shit. Okay, no. This does make sense. Okay, this is interesting. Okay, this is making a little bit more sense of what's going on here. So the problem would be is that their dependency is on .NET 6. You can see it right here. I .NET 6. I've got .NET 8. And I've got .NET 6, 7, and 8 all three installed, but I can promise you this, folks. This is also a shit show in the .NET world of this whole thing of how Microsoft's handled this. You'll see here, .NET 8's loaded, .NET 8 and .NET 8 because that's shipping next week. So that's what I'm writing everything in. But you'll see here instantly it's saying, hey, I need this stuff, but this stuff I'm looking for is like the old stuff, the .NET 6 stuff. That's not bad on them because technically speaking, .NET 6 is what they consider LTS, long-term support. So let's see here. Can I edit the project file and tell it then to use .NET 8 is the question. Edit. Let's see here. Let's see if I can find this. Oh, that's right, because they're doing it up here in this package solution cons crap. Let's see here. This used to be so much easier in .NET. Right here is what we got. This is what we got going on here. Nope, it's got .NET 8 here, all three here. Okay, so solutions props, config props says to use it, but when we come down here in mobile, it's saying, nah, I need .NET 6. Because it's saying the Uno extensions logging iOS is not compatible with .NET 8. It only supports .NET 6. Oh, that's a shit show. That's a big bummer. That's a super big bummer. All my stuff is .NET 8 based already. I mean, it's RC, it's supported. I really wish they would do they have a beta for this thing? So here's what's going on, folks. We got down to it, figuring out where the problem is. The real problem is that I'm using a preview version of .NET, and Uno looks like they have one package here that is not compatible with .NET 8. Looks like it's extensions logging. I'm not going to go back to .NET 6. I've got too many things on this machine that are shipping on .NET 8 next week. You know, Microsoft's got a big event going on, and that's a pretty big deal. So that's going to be a killer for me if I can't find a beta version of this library. Okay, so they have a day ago, they have 1.8.0. Let's see what 1.8.0 is doing for me here. It's still .NET 6. It's still .NET 6. That's a freaking crime. Oh, what a bummer. What a bummer. I mean, .NET's biggest event in the .NET community is happening. It's not. Jerome's saying that it is, but the compiler's saying it's not. It's saying here it's not compatible with .NET 8. It says it right here. Use this instead. Error kind of says that, right? I mean, the error is around Windows not building and missing the Catalyst workload. So you think that it's the All right, we'll try this. And so the Windows is, I'm assuming, is this base one because it's not named very well. I'm not sure if that's what it is. I haven't done anything. This is literally just the I just ran the command, guys. Go watch the stream. All I do is run the command, new from there, and named it a name. I haven't done a single thing since. I would expect something like this to work on a machine like this without any kind of trickery or play around with this. I think props is here. I mean, it's stock .NET stuff, 8 stuff. There's nothing scary in here or complicated. So this is here a hint for Windows. It looks like for the overtime, and it's basically it's commented out Windows altogether. I didn't do anything with this. I just ran the command again, guys. I know there's a lot of people in chat saying, well, you did this or this. All I did was run the new command here, man, from the terminal window. I mean, it's right up here. That's what I've done so far. Which is just say I want markup. I want this kind of stuff. It went through and did that, and I opened it up in Rider. Make sure to do a rebuild. So it's there. I mean, the instructions say to do three things. Remove the sample, uncomment the properties below, make sure you rebuild. I don't want Windows because I'm not on Windows, so that should work. The directions say to uncomment them. So I'm a little confused. Why would the directions say to uncomment them, and then you're saying not to uncomment them, that they're not supposed to be uncommented? That seems like that somebody, whoever wrote this, needs to figure out how to I mean, guys, this is actually getting really frustrating. What the hell is going on here, man? Not great experience. Let's see here. Let me go through and toggle these comments and see if toggling the comments will get this now to work. Let's just do this. Just comment all these out. That's gone. I'll build this again. It said actually something about rebuild, but I think that's a Visual Studio thing. Let's just build and see what happens here. This was building before. I think what happened was when I went to build the Catalyst that we were failing, right? Mobile was failing. So let's try this. So I want, nope, that's iPhone. I don't want that. I just want, where's Catalyst at? So maybe they don't, do they just not support Catalyst? Oh, wait, there we are. Maybe this is it. Let's see what happens. See if it runs. We're getting closer here. This is very confusing, to say the least. They have a file that says to do something, and then you do that, and then something else happens. I'm not really sure. So we're getting some comments here that it looks like from chat. So there's a couple different things going on here. So the missing target dependency is workload related. .NET workload restore. The file with the comment here is only for Visual Studio. so my recommendation is, I'm not sure who does this, but probably should have a warning to Rider developers to not load that, or just that simply don't load it at all. I don't know how that would work, but that's super confusing. So this does work now. So let's see here. I still have this thing not working. I'm assuming this is the Windows project, this base. I don't know what that is because it has a name to it. Yeah, it's super confusing. Like I would expect I shouldn't have to read. Yeah, see. So yeah, okay. So Jerome, I'm not sure who you are, but you're definitely a hero. Thanks for coming on and explaining some of this stuff. I mean, there's just no clear direction on this, right? This file doesn't tell me that, hey, if you're a writer, don't do anything. That's bad, right? And I know that, like in Maui, I see this stuff all the time in Maui. And in this, I usually modify it, but it's usually in a CS project file that I would do this in Maui land, right? They have the single solution file, right? It's that single thing where everything's in there, and then you just kind of go in and you kind of tweak the platforms you want. And usually in there, I just kind of comment Windows out on my Mac, and the Maui land, you know, this works pretty. It's better. I wouldn't say that it's perfect in .NET 8, but between .NET 6, 7, and 8, it's gotten way better in .NET 8. Still things I just don't like, but I mean, it's going in the right direction. So this all stuff is a little bit confusing. I don't think you have a Windows project in the solution. I have Windows project in my solution. Yeah, I don't know. So, but I also don't know what this like base project is. Then is it basically? Let me read this app code real quick here before I start making some assumptions. We're inheriting from something called application, and that's in the namespace of Microsoft XAML, which is in the Maui UI. So Maui must be putting a wrapper around this, which is cool. And then we see if this is Windows, they're doing a platform, or they're enable hot reload. Hot reload is pretty badass too. So okay, the first thing I thought was maybe because this base thing exists, maybe this hello world inherits from base. And maybe the application class is coming from that, but that doesn't seem to be the case here. And so what is this doing? It's a partial class. Okay, so there's some trickery here going on. So this is something, not sure. I'll have to read more in the documentation. So this more almost seems like this is the old school app CS file, because you can see here, this is setting up like, hey, if you're in iOS, .NET Core, I saw some stuff in here from Catalyst also. And this is where the factory gets set up. Okay, so this is making a little bit sense to me. Oh, there's the Catalyst line, right? So here's if iOS or Catalyst, then add this in. This has some, can I build this? Stop and build. Yeah, so this base one doesn't build. I don't know what it's for. That's weird. All right, so right here. Oh, sorry, I wasn't paying attention to chat here. The base project is here because Windows does not support having apps on a separate app. Really? Wow. Oh boy. So I guess I could summarize what you're saying by saying that, so some of this is just to get Windows support and everything working in this way. There's this really kind of really weirdness that has to happen here. Because to me, like in all the platforms I've used, usually if you have like an app CS file here, this is going to be your main file. You're doing all your directory, like your DI loading, your IOC, everything's going to get loaded in here. But it looks like what's happening here is that this really is just kind of inheriting. There's a parse class over here that looks like is doing really the trickery of all this, because this is saying it's a partial class of app over here, but then this adds in, this thing over here adds a bunch of platform stuff. This is adding like extensions for that. Is that? I don't know if the documentation explains all this. This is downright confusing. Let's see if they have any. They got some workshops. They have any documentation that explains like the project overview of how all this stuff works. Um, I've read the philosophy stuff before. I mean, I know the stuff for rendering. I mean, and the stuff they did with Xaml. Really, I'm only interested in this new C# stuff, this markup stuff, which looks super cool. Huh. But the project structure, I guess, is really weird to me. Like I'm trying to debug it. I'm trying to figure out like to understand it. I don't feel like magic is cool, right? And so usually developers will be like, well, it's magic. When you ask them how it works and they don't know, then that's magic, right? Well, magic doesn't really exist. It's just a sleight of hand, right? So instead, I like to know how the back end of things work, because that way when something breaks, I have an idea of where to go to try to fix it. But it looks like here we at least have this C# markup style working. I mean, that was the whole point of the lunch stream today. Sorry, folks. It's like almost time for the lunch stream to end. But we got this thing to build. I need to try to get this building, though. I need to get this really building in my travel sample app so I can link it to all my database services and stuff. So I think I'm going to have to go backwards now with this newfound information, which is, I mean, honestly, I tried to go, here's some lessons learned, right? Never take, if you don't know how to do something, and put it into your main code base. That's always dangerous, right? Build the Covenant POC. The POC, the proof of concept, is where we build something from scratch and play around with it and learn how it works and learn how to set it up. And then you take all that knowledge from the POC and you keep it in your brain and you throw all the code away, and then you do it in your real code base. I've been doing this for a long time, and the POC is the best way to handle this. So I think part of this is my blame, right? Because I put my code, I just basically tried to skip the POC phase, said, I'm a smart person, I can just throw this in my main code base, and I've done Xamarin and all this stuff throughout the years, I know what I'm doing. But it turns out with Uno platform, I'm not an expert on it. I'm just learning, and I'm learning now that there's some interesting things that they are doing here in order to kind of keep all the ecosystems running. And so some of this is Visual Studio for Windows based, and that's not my cup of tea. I mean, I'll be honest with you guys, right? I've told this before on stream. I only use Windows when I have to, and for work, that's only two things. Outside of that, I haven't used Windows for .NET development since 2017. So that's a very long time. That's like 6 years, almost 7 years now. So I don't use Windows. So if there's new stuff that is Windows only, I have no clue. But that's supposed to be all platforms, right? And I always make the complaint, and this is why I complain when they killed Visual Studio for Mac, is that that was our gateway for being, hey, this runs everywhere, right? And VS Code just is not. It is not a replacement for it right now. It does not work on the Mac very well. You saw I tried to just open the project, and there's restores don't work, and there's a bunch of other crap that ends up happening. That extension's in beta at best. And honestly, VS Code, the minute you start loading it with about 100 extensions, that thing just starts to become a pile of turd. It's based on Electron. It's not the fastest thing in the world. My understanding is that they're maybe working on a Vue 2 version of that. That's what like Teams runs on, and that would probably give them some better memory and performance for VS Code. VS Code is light and awesome when you don't have any extensions loaded. That's my hot take on it. So what we learned today was do a POC. We've now got this working. This is actually working. So I mean, let's prove this out, right? Let's just say this is cool, right? We'll change our text, and I technically think, I believe this, if I read this right, that the markup is still supported with hot reload, which means we could just change this and it should reload just like our friends over in the Flutter world, our friends over in Avalonian, our friends over in Swift UI, which is I do a lot, and then obviously our friends over at Jetpack Compose. So this is real cool. Let's see if this works real quick. I'm just kind of curious now. This is awesome. Instead of cool, it's way cooler. It's awesome. Let's see if that worked. Did not hot reload. I wonder if there's a button I have to press to tell it to hot reload. Nope, that would just stop it and run it. I'll have to research this a little bit. Oh, okay. It's supported with Hot Reload, but not in Rider. Okay. Okay. All right. Well, that's good to know. So we know that Hot Reload is there. It's just not on the platform I'm using. Of course, as y'all know, I stream on a Mac. I'm a Mac guy, and the whole stream, the Lunch.net stream is to prove that .net does work on Mac, and it's actually pretty cool. I know that the previous videos in the series, we were pouring one out for Visual Studio for Mac. That poor, awesome editor that has done so much for me throughout the years. I've made a very awesome killing on building apps and stuff in it since probably 2012 or 2013. So back when it was Xamarin Studio, MonoDevelop was, I think my first video on YouTube was MonoDevelop. Still bummed by that. Man, very, very heartbreaking. So this is also something that I like. So one thing, I guess, I did go into Skull Turkey, folks. I actually read their YouTube code that they had. And one thing that was kind of bumming me out was, so when I read this code example here, not the Figma stuff, where is the markup? I think it was in here. I was reading. Now I can't find it. I was reading some of the code, and one of the things was like, man, these guys really like grid a lot. It seemed like what they were doing is they take grid and then they'd throw like a stack view on view on top of it, like a stack layout. And grid is really expensive. Grid is extremely expensive. It's like, man, that seems like if you already have a stack layout, why would you want to bring if you're just trying to build like a hello world, do you really need to bring grid into this? That's a pretty expensive thing. But I like this example here because this one just doesn't have that. It doesn't have stack layout or grid. It's just like saying, hey, here's a text block. Boy. We should probably talk over in Android land. Let me tell you, grid is very expensive. Everything's expensive in Android. Grid can get ridiculous. Okay, so let me preface everything with, I am talking about, I come from the Xamarin world, right? I don't know how Uno compares to Xamarin, but I can tell you in Xamarin's world, and that's where I come from, grid is extremely expensive in Android, because you have to remember that you have, in Android specifically, for every view you have a version of it in Java and C#, and you have the JNI, and how this works is that C# objects are mapped to Java objects. And so when you have views on top of views, and then in the old world of Xamarin at least, which that's where my expertise and my background comes from, a grid in Xamarin is just a bunch of views containers that they kind of stack together, and views are ridiculously expensive in Android. Really, really expensive when you have, where's my favorite turd phone at? It's somewhere around here. This is the Pixel, but it's over here. This is my number one enemy. I've done enterprise development for about 10 years, over 10 years. Been doing software development for about 28 years, but mobile, I've been doing it since 2010. This is the Samsung A series phone. This is a $80 phone that corporation users. So I worked at a very large company that we had very large mobile thing, but this thing is like $80. This is what I call a burner phone. This is the slowest phone on the planet, but unfortunately 25% of the user base is using this thing, and you have to somehow get your app to run relatively smooth for scrolling and stuff with this thing. I can tell you in Xamarin that is a nightmare because I did it for about 5 years, and that's where in Xamarin the views would kill you. And you'd have to start talking about like, how do I optimize Android? And it got very complicated how to get any kind of performance out of Xamarin on Android on these really turd phones, which is that Xamarin's fault, or is that their fault? Well, I can't fix the phone. The customer is going to say, I'm not going to use your app because it's slow. So you can't fix the phone. So you have to go back to the technology you're building with and try to figure out like, how do I then get that to try to work and perform? It's somehow similar to Uno, although Uno does not have a virtual tree view. Makes layout faster. Oh, okay. But still, not putting that many views is a good thing in general, which is whichever the tech is. That's That's the gist of it. Like in Jetpack Compose now, that's what we use in modern Android native development. I do a lot of Android native development. It's a different world now. We don't use views anymore. Behind the scenes, obviously Compose is building up some things that are very similar to that, but in that technology, because how we handle state and stuff, it turns out retriggering a redraw of a view is actually recommended, and actually it happens a lot. But because of how they've architected Compose, it handles it a lot better. But in the old style views, they're pretty terrible. Their list is terrible. Also, recycler view is good. Don't get me wrong; it's better than a list. Don't use a list. Use recycler view because it has a view holder pattern in it. But it's still there's a lot of things that can go wrong in .NET when you start using like the recycler of reuse pattern. And that has mostly to do with garbage collection in .NET. But anyways, that's not the problem that we wanted to do today. Today, what we wanted to do is start getting Uno running so we could put it into the travel sample application and then write some freaking C# code that actually generates UI versus using YAML. So I think the Trench lunch stream here, so we're just about done here. I think we're gonna wrap it up for today and then tomorrow. So tomorrow, what do we need to do? Well, okay, we need to get our backlog for tomorrow set up. So I think tomorrow what we need to do now is we got Hello Uno working in this Hello world. We need to, I need to recreate this in the travel sample area here with this newfound knowledge of not to touch that certain thing there, and then make sure that we get it working. I'm gonna have to merge the solution files together though, because it generates its own solution file, and I already have a solution file. So I'm gonna have to take a look at that and get those two merged together so that it kind of works. And I don't think I'm gonna do that on stream because that's not very entertaining, to tell you the truth. But that's what I need to do because I don't want to rebuild. I mean, the only other, well, there's another option. There is another option for this now I think about. I could just use the Uno solution file and then add my existing Avalonian and Maui projects to that solution file, because the Uno solution file works. And honestly, there's nothing tricky in the solution files for any of these other tech. They don't have like these build target things in the separate solution file and stuff like that. It seems like this is a Uno platform thing more than it is. Like Avalonian, they're just projects. It's just regular C# projects. And the same thing with .NET, because they do a single project in .NET now. It's just in Maui and folders. And I'm assuming Uno is eventually going to go to that. I hope, at least, because that the single folder solution is the single project solution is actually kind of cool. I was against that first. It's kind of like React developers. When you have a React project and the first time you see React and you have like XML or you have JSX code, so you have like some HTML code inside of your JavaScript code that feels wrong if you've been doing development a long time. It reminds, like, the first time you see React is like, this is wrong. This is everything wrong in the world. Like, if you came from web forms, you're like, no, we always have our HTML separated from our ASP code for our JavaScript code. But it's okay to cross the streams, I guess, now. Goes by reference. It's okay to have your code mix matched together, I guess. And in some sense, it's not all that bad over here, right? When they're doing platform checks over here. I mean, you can see here if this is WASM, that's our WebAssembly. Let's go ahead and add this provider in for logging versus this logging. And I mean, these are fine. These are, type defs that I'm sure that they have defined here at probably the project level is my guess, to be able to add those in to do those checks. I mean, that's what Maui does. So you can't really blame them because, I mean, that's where Maui's going. So, I mean, I know that some people say, well, that looks ugly, blah, blah, blah. It's fine. It's fine. I think you get a cleaner assembly and a cleaner app then. So I think that they're probably going down the right road there. Well, I apologize. We couldn't get to actually write some UI code, but I guess that's what leaves us for some fun tomorrow. As we'll take a look and see if we can't get this. I think tonight, my goal is, I may stream this tonight. I may try to merge those two solutions together, or probably not merge them. I'll probably take the what I said earlier. I'll probably take and make them the Uno one the base, and then just bring the other projects in so that I have a single solution, and then that way I don't have to worry about like, how do I keep this working. Because it seems like it works when you create it from the template, but the second you try to add it to existing stuff, it seems like something goes wrong. And I'm not sure what's there. And it's not fun watching somebody struggle trying to figure out like some tech stuff, right? So I think that that's probably the best way to do it. This code will get checked in very shortly here, folks. I would say look out for the... I'm not sure what we're going to do yet tonight. I know the stream is tonight. I think I can't remember if it's 5 or 6. I'd have to check my Twitch channel to see what it is. We will probably be playing with something with mobile. I'm not sure if it'll be this app. This is supposed to be for the lunch stream, so maybe we'll just keep it and do it tomorrow, and I'll do that off stream. Either way, check my schedule. We'll definitely be doing the .NET lunch stream back here again tomorrow. And I think probably the next 4 or 5 days we'll be playing around with this C# markup stuff to see whether or not we can get some UI showing up in it, and then get it talking to a database and see, you know, how cool it is, and then we can start taking a look at things of saying, you know, how does this compare to other ways that we've been building things like in Swift UI and stuff. So far, from the examples, I've read the YouTube example. I recommend if you're a Swift UI developer or a Flutter developer, stuff like that, but you're kind of curious in C#, go check out the Uno example on their... they have an example repo here somewhere, samples. And what you want to look at is there's this YouTube clone that they have. And that YouTube one, man, it looks a lot like Flutter, and really there's a lot of, it's somewhere in here. I don't want to waste, I've got to get to meetings here, so I don't want to waste too much more time on this. But if you go look at the Uno code, you're going to find that they have some examples on the C# markup stuff. And they have a one that's based on YouTube, and the code looks amazing. It looks so much like Flutter or Dart, and so much better than XAML. You know, I was really impressed. It's in the references folder. Okay. So go check that out. And here we are, references, and then oh, Nick, really? Wait, Nick is merged a pull Chris on this. I know Dick from Twitter. He's super awesome. First of all, if Nick's working on this, I feel a lot better already. Really super smart person. You should follow him on Twitter. He's always got some interesting takes on things. The tube player here, go check this out, because this is a pretty interesting, just being able to see like, you can see here they're registering their view models and mapping that in. It looks like it's a shell, but if you go look at the actual code, it's really, really good. It really reminds me a lot of where we're kind of going with other languages like Swift UI, with Flutter, and with Jetpack Compose. And to me, that is I feel it's just easier for new developers to understand than YAML or XAML, excuse me. Keep saying YAML because I'm working on a stupid DevOps problem at work. But XAML can be just overwhelmingly complicated. And there's no breakpoint. You can't put a breakpoint into XAML. You can put a breakpoint in C#. And that's badass awesome. So that's the reason why I'm so excited to see this and play with it a little bit and see how it compares. So that's what we're gonna do tomorrow, folks. Appreciate you guys hanging on this the tree stream. There'll be a one later on tonight, and like I said, we'll have the lunch stream back here again tomorrow, working on some .NET stuff. So you guys all take care and be kind to one another. And thanks everybody that joined the stream, all the new folks here. Video on demand will be on YouTube. I know that's more popular for all the YouTube folks. You know to go to Discord to ask questions. The 200 or 300 of you that watch video on demand afterward, go to Discord if you have any questions, and I'll be more than happy to answer your